All right, episode 122, the top 5 things we learned from the social media crash of 2021. We're going to get started right now.
Oh my God, it's all breaking.
Welcome to the only real estate podcast worth listening to, with your hosts Nick Good, Matt Kelderman, and Brian Force. Combined, they have 26 years of experience and have sold over 1,500 homes. Join them each week as they bring you everything you need to know about real estate. And now, here are your hosts, Nick, Matt, and Brian.
All right, episode 122. Today we are talking about the top 5 things we have learned from the social media crash of 2021.
I know you guys didn't feel this way because you guys are much more grown up than I am. But I struggled when the Soch was down for like 6 hours. Marquise, one of our business partners and like friends, like kept trying to like his post and it wouldn't let me like it. And I was like, why is my Facebook fucking broken? I just want to leave a heart emoji for my friend.
I'm going to tell you right, I didn't even notice.
I know.
I was saying same as Nick. I actually didn't know until I finally got onto Facebook later at night and then saw everybody talking and sharing.
I had to learn from Facebook that it was
Facebook
down.
Told me that Facebook was down way later after I got back up.
Oh, you guys should be able to contribute a shitload to this conversation then.
I was busy with stuff. I don't know.
We're over here making money.
I actually appreciate the fact that like you're not addicted to it. Like part of my problem was we're doing this new vlog thing now, Matt Kelderman on YouTube. And all of a sudden, like it was Monday and I'm committed to posting this everywhere at 3:00 on Monday. And all of a sudden I couldn't post. And I was like, oh my God, people are waiting on my vlog. It has 37 views.
But no, I'm trying to get
James
folks.
James Lucas Reed saying us Twitter folks were just fine.
I know you guys are just on there just like firing off like
First
memes.
off, would anybody even know if Twitter was down?
Dude, yes they would.
Would they?
Dude,
where would they go?
The twits are but nowhere because
no, they wouldn't go anywhere because I think the Twitter the Twitter people just all tweets just are about bitching and moaning and complaining. That's all I feel is like that is the Yelp of social media.
Yeah, it is. Like I said, I am not a Twitter person. I've tried getting on there. I just can't. I can figure it out because I'm not an idiot. But like, I just don't know what to do when I'm there. I don't know how people want to hear from me, so I just ejected on Twitter like so quick.
Yeah, it's too. I don't.
I check because we talked about this a little while back about reels and stuff. Now I'm not. There's so much of social media. It makes me feel like such an old man because I don't know why I don't like it when everyone else does. Like I've felt this way about Instagram forever. I just don't give a shit about your pictures. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's not an old man thing. Maybe I'm just selfish. I don't care what you're doing.
Wait, I'm not in that photo.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not liking or loving this.
I will obsess over photos of me.
Yeah.
But if I'm not in it, which I'm not in, at least 40% of what's on Instagram is not pictures of me. So
at least 40.
At
least 40.
So I'm not into it, right?
Yeah.
But I felt the same way about Reels. I got into Reels at your behest the other day. And the Reels to me were kind of like a bag of Doritos. Like at first they felt real good, kind of addicting for a little while. And then like in a very short moment, you're like, I just feel disgusting and full. And I don't want to ever see another Reel again. Because only some of them are good.
I was telling Heather last night, she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, got stuck down this Reel rabbit hole.
It's the worst.
And I've been helping Austin out this week on some of the construction stuff at our projects. And so I got stuck on this construction Reel video group.
Okay.
And it's just all these dudes doing random construction worker shit. And I'm like, well, I guess I'm a construction worker now, at least this week.
Okay, well, so it gets better then because it knows what to feed. Because right now, maybe I haven't done it long enough. It doesn't learn what I like.
It's feeding you like the wrong information.
Just giving me all sorts of random stuff I don't care about. There's some that are cool. Like I get a lot of basketball ones. I don't know why. Like I'm the exact opposite of basketball. Like short and white. Like just not really the demographic. But that's gonna get like into a lot of LeBron James videos. I'm getting a lot of those. I'm getting a lot of tattoo ones, which I'm only semi interested in.
I get a whole lot of like British people fighting. Like I don't understand
cool.
why.
And they're great.
They're great, dude, because like I don't know, it's just because they don't have guns, like they just solve shit differently.
They have to.
They'll find some real petty ass ways to get back at people. Like they'll go out, like I saw this one video, like this guy went and dumped a bunch of tires on like some farmland, and the dude spent a bunch of money to have all the tires loaded up in a truck to drive back into the city to like dump all those bitches right in his front yard. And there were hundreds of tires,
That's a
dude.
lot-
It was
that's a
so
lot
funny.
of work.
That is an amazing human thing to explore. Is like, what if we didn't have guns and our gut instinct was to prank each other whenever we got in fights? Like, we just didn't shoot each other. We were just trying to inconvenience each other in major ways, like dumping trash in each other's yards and shit. And like, I don't know, it's just like really just horribly inconvenient things we did to our enemies. Almost like not a, what is it? Not a cartoon. What's the cartoon? What's the not Animaniacs? The whole thing. What is the whole?
The Animaniacs.
The whole company.
And
Warner Brothers?
It was
Like Looney Tunes?
Looney Tunes.
Oh,
Shit.
yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
I am an old man.
I know.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Everything was just a Looney Tunes.
No, if you're an
prank
old man, you'd call it Merry Melodies.
horror.
you know what else you should explore is our some of our sponsors.
You
Brian.
should. You should explore
You
them.
should definitely go.
Feel them out.
Segues are
And
murdering today.
yes, I was trying to get it back.
Trying to
in.
rein it back in.
Fit it back in, right? And so, you know what would make a really great social media video is our friend Mortgage Mike of Texas.com. He's a amazing loan officer, and he's going to be, trust me, there's going to be a video, and he's going to be running around. He's going to pull out of his pocket this big foil stamp that says approval on it. And Mortgage Mike is going to run around, and he's going to stamp you because you're going to get approved for a loan, right? And if you want your clients to get approvals and not denials, then what you need to do right now, and you are right, Jesse, if there's nothing on the background, our viewers go up.
Just go.
Yeah.
We did
But
have
if you
this
don't want
argument before.
denials and you only want approvals, you need to go talk with Michael DeBacker, Mortgage Mike of Texas.com, and he's going to stamp you with his Mortgage Mike stamp of approval. So Mortgage Mike of Texas.com. I'm telling you,
I'll tell you, this show will whip a donkey to death on a bit,
It
bro.
doesn't
We just do
matter.
not even
It
care.
doesn't matter.
We are just
dude,
like,
did you not see on Saturday morning? I
was so
started a
great.
Facebook messaging group just for that because he likes to partake in little fireball shots.
Yeah.
And there was this fireball like dessert,
Oh yeah,
and he would eat that shit up.
we should do Brokers Opens.
There's-
and have him come bring.
No, we're gonna do a Mortgage Mike's, his coming out party, and it's gonna be
It's
him
coming up.
of coming out of the Mortgage Mike stamp of
There
approval.
we go.
and what he's going to do with that, he's going to have his fireball goodies.
We need to get this on the calendar because it's supposed to happen in July, and this is how.
Well, it's-
this could be our
disorganized
this could be our next only real estate live
We're
event.
gonna do
Yes.
our live event. We're gonna make those desserts.
Free fireball.
And
Here's what I commit
Mike
to
is
right
gonna go
now.
around stamping everyone.
Yeah.
At the
Yes.
next live event. Wait,
And then we're gonna ton of pictures for social. We'll have
Exactly,
everyone with stamps
yes.
on their forehead.
All right, so
Yes.
everybody, I doubt we'll be able to do it before the end of the year because there's just too much shit going on.
Well,
Right? But if
I
we
mean,
can
you're
get a
already
live
doubt-
event in
you're
before the
already
end of the
doubting
year,
us.
I promise to sponsor all the fireball for everybody. My eye just went nuts. I will. I will buy every shot of fireball done at the next live event.
All right, so
Deal.
this has to happen in November because we're busy until the comment in the comments.
Yeah.
When do you want the next live event?
It can't
to
be 8th through the 12th of November. I'm
Sometime
gone.
after
We're just
November
putting
12th.
out our calendars now.
Yeah.
Like Jesse just post a screenshot of our calendars. You guys pick a time that works.
You guys,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Send us an
exactly.
invite.
And look, our other sponsor, Justin Nelson of Sphere Rocket VA.
Oh, we're still doing sponsors.
SphereRocketVA.com. I'm making it real fast.
Right,
SphereRocketVA.com.
obviously.
Look, you want that virtual assistant, you want that leverage, but you don't really want to pay a lot of money right now for that, right? Fourth quarter, maybe you're pinching pennies right now, but you want to learn about how to get that social media the right way so you can bring in business like Kelderman over here, right? That's going to be through the leverage of the VAs. So SphereRocketVA.com, tell Justin that we sent you. And look, now let's get over to the top 5 things that we learned about this social media meltdown that happened yesterday, right? Or was it Monday?
No, it was Monday.
Oof.
And
all
one,
involved.
and I think
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing, and I posted this in the only real estate group we're being a part of. So if you want to get part of the conversation, head over there real quick. But like, I just kind of wanted to know.
Oh, please, Heather. I have it on good authority. You didn't even stop doing crack until after Asher was born. And he turned out fine. He's great.
Somebody gave Brian drugs when nobody was looking
Yeah.
today. No, so it was really crazy because I was kind of joking about like kind of the FOMO that was happening. Like, but what was really happening was I was all of a sudden very aware that if I didn't have the ability to communicate with people through social media, a large chunk of my ability to generate business and my influence like I'm not an influencer, but my ability to have conversations with people the way I like to have conversations is immediately gone. Right. Like secondary is like all the pictures that I would lose because I use Facebook essentially as my cloud to like save all my shit.
Yeah.
Right. But the problem. Oh, hey, Mike. But one of the things it made me do a couple of things. One, it made me really regretful of the fact that I didn't jump on other platforms sooner.
Okay.
Right. Because I do think from a Facebook standpoint, it is aging out demographically. Right. Like 20-year-olds are not flocking to Facebook to start new profiles. Are they there? Sure, they are. But that's not their social media of choice.
Yeah.
Are you going after 20-year-olds?
Well, am I? I'm not. Maybe I'm not. Right. Like from the standpoint of I'm going for consumers.
Sure.
Right. Like maybe my market's not niche and my message doesn't resonate. Right. Like to 20-year-olds.
You kept me on the camera on that one.
Right.
Yeah, thanks,
and at the end of the day, there's probably like a large portion of like my fear with going to other social media stuff that I just don't understand how to engage in them. Right. So I saw something. So James said, I saw something where 80% of the world uses WhatsApp as their main source of communication.
Yeah.
I believe that. I think WhatsApp
People
from an
overseas.
international, yes, the international part of it, like that's probably huge. I saw supposedly Zucklock's $6 billion worth of value went from like 131 to 125, like billion.
Yeah.
Through all that.
But here's the thing. I do, while I agree with you of saying, the younger generation's not just jumping on Facebook, which there are agents on our team that, our communication method to them of events or meetings happens in our Facebook internal group.
Yeah.
And they don't ever see it because they're not on Facebook.
Sure.
Right. Yeah. But while I agree with you on that, you do have to identify what is your target market that you want to speak to at that very moment. So
Sure.
if you are on Facebook, you're not speaking to the young, what is the 20-year-olds right now? Is that Generation Z?
I think it's Z.
What's that?
Somebody has, I think they start the alphabet over again.
Oh.
I think they're just annoying.
I think it's been
I don't wanna
so
call them
long since
anything.
Generation A was around.
Yeah.
They're all long dead now. So
Do
they're
they
not
call
gonna care.
themselves Generation A?
No, I think they called themselves like the first humans.
Yes.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense.
Here we go.
Hey, Jesse's got enough for us. Oh, Gen Alpha. Oh, so that's what we're having.
Gen Alpha? That's ridiculous.
Well, that's,
I
yeah.
don't
So
like
that
at
is
all.
that is births that are starting 2013 through 2020.
So again, most
Gen
the home
Z.
buyers, right?
Yeah. So
1995 to 2012.
So
the
the-
lost generation was how depressing is that? Were they calling themselves that at the time? They're
Is
like,
that
we're
because
just-
they always like after the Civil War and like
I mean, they're lost
It just-
now because
think
none of
about
them are
living
none
in
of them
the-
are still alive.
think
but they
about
call
living
them-
in America from 1890 to 1915. Just that would have sucked, bro.
Oh man, I would have liked it better.
No,
No,
way.
you would not. Bullshit.
Bro, you'd be dead by 40. You'd smell like a
Yeah.
butt. Like it would just be awful.
I don't know if you
It'd
guys
be awful.
have a super good handle on how long people lived back then. I wouldn't be dead when I was 40.
I don't know.
So 20?
No,
What's the average age of
It's
them?
got to be in the United
see,
States.
I love it when Jesse
Jesse.
does
It's
it.
got to be in developed area. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna get annoyed at this average age. There's
50?
so much more nuance to this.
Look, 57 is reasonable.
But that
If
was
the
in
average age is in the
1950.
late
Brian
70s.
said he wanted to be born in 1890.
Yeah, which means I would live until then. You
No.
got to find.
No, that would
This-
then you would have been 25 years old then. 1890 to 1950.
Yep,
would be
US
Yeah,
25.
right
but I
there,
would have
53
already
and a half.
been like halfway through. That's like it's a good halfway point.
Yeah, but all right.
What the hell?
Yeah. But
You know, I would have liked it better. We wouldn't have this fucking argument right now because there wouldn't be a dude pulling up information after every sentence to prove or unprove what you just
Yeah.
said. It was a simpler time.
But
I agree with that.
what I would say is that yes, you jumping on the social media platform, like your stuff on Facebook may not be as strong on LinkedIn.
It's 100% not.
and you can't go LinkedIn Live because you have to qualify for certain parameters. So then it's getting the right messaging down or the right imaging down or the right just pre-recorded videos down for
Yes.
your LinkedIn versus the TikToks where you need to have something a little bit better and engaging or funny or
Sure.
controversial.
or helpful, right? Like here's the thing about TikTok. TikTok really, like, as much as it can be annoying and we just want to bag on it because we think everybody on there is just an idiot, and there's a ton of people doing really, really great,
Yes.
like not insanely long form content, but what would probably be long form most people right now, like 2 minutes, right? Like,
But even I'm going to tell you right now that 2 minutes is hard to come up with in it because it's not long enough. But to come up with such short, impactful ideas,
it's very hard.
And you're supposed to be posting almost every day in order to keep that algorithm there.
I sent to my social media coach yesterday some stuff that I was doing. She wanted me to kind of do a series around these like selfie style videos where you just say something fucking deep, right? And like, but you're also, here's the thing is
on command.
It's fine if you're attached to the message, right? I've done a couple of them where it was literally like, it was totally genuine, and the part that I cut out was really nice. I tried to recreate that moment the other day, and I recorded like 6 different messages of one video and sent them to her, and she's like, these are all garbage. And I was like, I know. Like, it's terrible.
Because it's not genuine.
It's not genuine at all, right? And each one of these platforms requires you to do things different from a format perspective, from a timing perspective. None of them want you to really be able to cross post. Even Facebook and Instagram, who are owned by each other, the posting doesn't go both ways. Your Instagram go to Facebook, but try putting Facebook shit on Instagram. No. It's terrible.
And your Instagram Live kind of sucks. Like,
Instagram is Reels right now. If you're messing with Instagram, you need to do really pretty pictures, or you need to do Reels. I've done a lot of cross testing on Instagram and TikTok from the Reels perspective, because I think it's the exact same person who's watching those. And even Facebook has gotten on it. You can go on Facebook now and see Reels from Instagram.
Correct.
But if you click on them and want to read the comments, it
That's
takes you back to Instagram.
the only way that I've watched them. I don't get on Instagram.
So it's all horizontal format stuff, right? And then it's just vertical.
Which is a change from YouTube style where. But YouTube,
even Facebook's 1-to-1 ratio, it's different than that, right?
And YouTube Shorts can actually be it's okay to be vertical on YouTube.
YouTube Shorts is a totally different thing.
You're supposed to be vertical on YouTube Shorts.
I think so.
I know you are. Most of them have been shot vertically, but like, okay, so everything goes down for a while, and it affects everyone of all demographics and age groups, which is so. That's an interesting thing to me. One of the things that I sort of learned is that we say like, okay, Gen Z or Alpha Gen or whatever they're called aren't really big Facebook users, and everything's so interconnected now that they were affected by Facebook going down because Instagram went down, and then you have so much cross posting, right? Reels from Instagram show up on Facebook. I think what I'm trying to get at here is that if you really want to reach a broader audience, you have to be omnipresent with different types of content formats. You can't just be all in on Facebook, Instagram. You've got to be showing up in a multitude of places, right? So like, you've got to be on Reels now. You've got to be, I don't know what YouTube Shorts, what that becomes, if it's, if it becomes popular or not, but I feel like the omnipresence of it, retrofitting your content to different style and length and even aspect ratio formats is super, super important right now.
So yes, but would your social media coach that you have, Kelderman, would this person advise you to focus on master one of them first?
Yes.
Right. So that you can get, because you can't be a master of all.
Correct.
Right. So you need to go down whether it is just the Reels or whether it's just doing lives. Like, at one time I know that, Coach Kyle Draper has been on the show several times.
Yep.
He just focused on Facebook Lives. Right. And then as that became normal and routine for him, he started to venture out into YouTube. He was not doing well in that space. Yeah. Then he started to improve. And then he moved into TikTok and has crossed that 1,000, follower subscriber thing. So you can go YouTube, TikTok Live. And so it's once he had it down, then he would move to the next platforms. And because what will happen is you're going to get your brain will become fried trying to think of, all right, now I've got to do a Facebook video, or this one's a YouTube one. Can I also then cut this into portion to make it right for Facebook, or can I do TikToks or whatever it is, right?
It's just such different content, right? I think this kind of goes back to what Brian was talking about a little bit, is like, you do have to define a little bit of what your message and what you're trying to do is, because it's all going to play so differently. What we're currently trying to do on YouTube doesn't really play anywhere else. And honestly, it's not murdering on YouTube, but that's just because I have zero YouTube presence at this point, right? Like, I've got 155 subscribers or something, right? There's just not a lot of people engaging in my organic content, which is what YouTube really enjoys. So part of it is super hyper defining who you want to attack, right? Like Joanna on our team, she's really dialed into Instagram right now, right? She's doing the reels type of stuff. I've thrown some reels out there. I've had a couple of reels get 4,000 views. I've had some get 6, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't have any rhyme or reason to what I'm doing at all. So, but I've gotten zero business from anywhere other than Facebook and a couple of deals Brian and I got from YouTube last year from a top 10 things to do in Dallas video that we put out on our Undoubtedly Dallas channel.
Yeah.
Right. So I do think that you have to have some idea, because then what you can really, the exciting part that I'm starting to explore and what we were talking about is then you can start getting hyper focused and growing that, right? Like what could a VA do? So I have 10,000 connections on LinkedIn, 3,500 friends on Facebook, and like 1,500 people on Instagram, right? Like what could a VA do if I paid them $4 or $5 an hour and every single week there was a message that went along with my YouTube content that was messaged out to every single person in my social media sphere, not on my post. That person just went and copy and pasted it to every single person. Would some people be able to read through that? For sure they would, right? Maybe they'd appreciate the hustle. Maybe they think it was douchey and they'd opt out. Again, I've said a million times on the show, it doesn't bother me if somebody opts out of my content. It makes me feel okay, right? Like I do this every once in a while when memories come up and I've got like an old post that has like a ton of engagement on it. I'll go into the likes and scroll down to see who it says add friend now, because those are all the people who've unfriended you. And every once in a while I'll feel somebody be like, that motherfucker.
Yeah.
I talked to that person forever. I didn't even realize it. So like I do that every once in a while just to hurt myself. But like, but I think the point is like people will just opt out of the content and then you're just putting out whatever. So implementing a VA or somebody to go through and sell his message, now I can grow my YouTube channel to 1,000 subscribers, right? Through the actual lead generation efforts of trying to grow a social media channel. And then hopefully organically it would take off after that.
Well, if you go back to, I think it was like 6 or 7 shows ago, we had Mike Cuevas on, the marketing dude,
Mhm.
right? And what his style is to make videos that would also talk to your people, right? So your friends, because how pissed off are you when you see that your friend whom you just maybe had lunch with or had a beer with 2 or 3 weeks ago, all of a sudden you find out they closed on a house because the realtor tagged them in it, but your friend didn't say, "Hey, Matt, I'm sorry, man. Like, I didn't use you."
Nor would I probably.
Yeah,
right?
because
Like, awkward ass conversation.
it is, right? And so from that, it's following those steps of taking those videos that you're doing, and if social media starts to, let's say that we run into a Facebook or Instagram's down again, you start taking these videos and what other measures are you using? Like email marketing. I'm going to tell you right now, I've gotten in the last 2 days. In fact, I just got someone who emailed today off of us emailing our videos out.
Yeah.
And you can also then go to see your subscriber rates go up on other platform and channels. We push them back to TikTok. We push them back to YouTube. We will send them, not necessarily to LinkedIn or Facebook, but really it's YouTube and TikTok would all share on those.
Yeah, I mean that's if we haven't been rattling off 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, but that would be one of them in there right now. Is one of the big things you learn is that you've got to find other distribution methods for your content, right? If you're in real estate, you should have a big email list of contacts in your database. You got to find other ways to get your content to them. Email marketing is a huge one, right?
We did this for a while when we were, for those of you who've been watching the show for a while, like we had a failed attempt at launching a coaching company when we were kind of in the dead ass middle
call
of
it fail.
Well, here's the thing. I wouldn't call it
fail at anything.
I want to throw fail on it because I think it's important for people to understand that like we're implementing things that don't work sometimes, right? Like I know fails. We can pick apart the word, but the point being is I never want anybody to think that like we have even any shit dialed in at all.
Yeah.
But one of the things that was dialed in about that a lot was the email marketing part of it, right?
Yeah.
Like,
actually, I want to dissect the coaching company part because it goes into the social media, and the focus is that what we realized is that it actually wasn't fueling our energy to go down that path. Mm-hmm. And so we weren't putting the necessary measures behind it. And the same thing will happen if you're not feeling it on that social media platform. You think you're actually going to make a really deep thought video? No, you're not. Or you think you're going to go take a selfie, or like, there's someone in our XP group who's sitting like on a shitter, and there's toilet paper next to her. I'm like, all right, okay. You do you, and it gets engagement.
I will tell you, Foster.
Yeah,
the Taco Review Show is the saddest thing. I feel the pain in that comment. trust me, I wish we would never stop doing taco.
By the
reviews.
way, the comment was from Aaron Foster, said you had, and this is to Kelderman,
I know.
you had an amazing taco review show that you just walked away from. I mean,
Dude, people, and here you want to talk. We're jumping around a little bit here, but you want to talk about how social media can affect people coming into your world, right? Like not Aaron Foster or anything, but Brian and I would get taco emojis tagged after. Like people still
For a
expect me to
long
buy
time.
them tacos for shit. We did our last taco video.
but now it's Fireball, by the way.
I know.
Yeah.
We did our last taco video in March of 2020.
March of 2020. I remember.
And it
because
was
we made
it
a
was,
lot of really off-color coronavirus jokes at the time.
and we
It
took
just
that
thought-
shit down.
We thought it was going to be over by the next week. We weren't taking it seriously at all.
I think we made some on the show.
We probably did. Don't go back and review that.
Yeah.
But you're absolutely right. Like the taco review was amazing. And I'll peel the curtain back on that too. You morph out of the people you were as well. The message Brian and I put out in those taco videos was perfect for 2018.
Bro, look, the last couple
2019.
seasons of Seinfeld weren't that good. Sometimes
Right?
you need to know when to walk away.
It's not indicative of who we are as business owners and men and him a husband and me a father.
But
It's
you
just-
still love tacos.
But tacos are still amazing, and we could pick the thing about the taco reviews is the taco reviews were funny regardless of how much Brian and I drank.
no, it's
The reason we stopped
according to Brian, it's irregardless.
the reason they got taken down though was because, like I said, there was too much party boy and not enough businessman.
100%.
You know what I mean?
We'll
But-
start doing,
no, but
we'll start doing bell pepper reviews.
Yes. But with that, it was too much party boy, but at the same time, it also has got it solidified the type of people you were as a character, right?
That
The real
is
character where again, you use me as the example where I was too tight in my videos, where that's not who I am. Right. And so you get this persona where what you think people view you as a real estate professional or an expert.
That's a good takeaway for
It
the
is.
taco videos because yes, we did make them sometimes about real estate, but I mean, I remember like a 10-minute diatribe we had about how great the original Blade movie was, and that was just kind of there's a lot of stuff like that in there.
We did a
And
lot of
we
bits.
did a lot of bits like that. I think that's why people liked it. People liked us talking about there's like that. We had a whole thing on vampires, that show.
Brian edited it
Everybody
too,
was-
right? Like, here's the other thing: when it's your little baby project, it's going to be better, right? Like Brian was taking the time to edit all of that stuff, right? So he was going through and he was really getting the essence of what we were trying to do,
It
right?
humanizes
And,
people.
to kind of take it back to Nick, I think that's one of the hardest things that people run into when it comes to social media is none of this matters without consistency. You can make the dopest video that has like the smartest thing anybody said in it. And if it's the only thing you post in a month, Facebook ain't going to show it to anybody because
they're not going to go.
you're not engaging with their algorithm enough to give a shit.
Yeah.
That's
You know what I mean?
What
Like-
taco videos did well is they
Same week
created
every time.
Same week every time they created engagement. And if you're taking lessons from this for like how to craft your own content, like yeah, people did probably enjoy the real estate aspects of it, you know, and what kept them watching was probably us discussing which Wu-Tang member we would be, which we did
Yeah.
quite often.
You
Like
should-
you humanize
So many
yourself,
Method Man
people, and
references in
you
the
know what I
taco
mean?
videos.
Like the real estate aspect of it was always
I would
secondary.
bring that back and just do,
It's one of the funnest things we've
the
ever
dirtiest
done.
tacos in the most fanciest of houses. So while walking
Why don't we
around
we'll
the
bring it
most
back.
fancy of
right.
houses, and you're just crunching on tacos and shit's going.
You guys are
everywhere.
watching shit
I'm
happen
gonna challenge
right now.
you to do this, and we'll do this with me. We'll do some sort of taco review show, but I'll eat a can of tuna and a bell pepper every single time, and then review it as if it's different, even though it's not.
This is the hardest part of bringing the taco videos back. Brian's turned into some GD Buddhist monk around the way he eats. He eats bell peppers like apples now. It's like
I'm trying to live for a long time.
I know, and I said this on last week's episode. I've tried replicating what Brian does so much, and I just end up with a giant produce bill. So it's just
Shit
throwing
really is
shit out.
not cheap.
I had a little bit of buzz the other night, and I was on the phone with somebody, and I'm like legitimately FaceTiming somebody, and I'm just like take a giant bite out of a fucking bell pepper. It's just-
So let
So
me ask you
stupid.
the with your, because you are getting coached by someone pretty up there.
yeah, I mean, do we care about talking about it?
I don't. Do you?
No, I don't care. So I'm doing Ryan Serhant, Sell It Like Serhant, coaching social media
Yeah.
program, right? I'm in month 2 of it, and it's going great. It's overwhelming as shit.
Yeah.
Right. But there's so much stuff in there that you would just never think about, especially when you do stuff like we're doing now with the podcast, right? press releases to other podcasts to get us on other shows to grow this podcast.
Yeah.
Right. Like I don't mind talking about this in front of everybody because this is what you should be thinking about when you're thinking about your content. What is it? When we started doing the podcast, I never thought like, hey, we need to get on other podcasts to grow our podcast.
No, we did talk about that. We just didn't do it.
We just didn't do it, but we didn't understand. And we've talked about it for years. And again, that's something a VA would be really dope at. You put together a press kit, the VA sends out the press kit to every single stinking podcast.
We get them all the time. We get like 5 of them a week.
The people who don't give a shit about you.
On because we're actually afraid of them judging us.
I know.
Well, and at the same
want to
time,
be a part of this hackery.
Yeah, at the same time, we do. There is something about how this show has evolved from us doing a garage kick around to then we made guests, which was great, to us coming back to, dude, what is really going on in our businesses at this moment? Whether it's a shit show, whether things are going amazing, like you guys have had experienced massive growth, whether it's the growth that we've all seen in all of our, maybe not Brian's, but all of our social media platforms.
Brian just could not. He's the youngest one of the group and could not give a shit less about
Brian,
social media.
I've grown in my comfort level in how satisfied I am with what I'm doing.
We're gonna somehow shame you so much that you're gonna actually become less confident and comfortable. But I mean, if you look at Brian's post, he has a 7 a.m. or whatever time it normally goes out by some VA. There's no way Brian posts that shit every day.
No, he doesn't.
And I guarantee
Brian's golf videos are him posting.
Yes, that is Brian. But Brian probably doesn't even know what question of the day is like. And by the way, we're still selling real estate.
The funniest thing is Brian's actually had a couple of those posts because they're prompting questions. Go pretty nuts. And Kyle Draper
gives me anxiety. Sometimes there's like 150 comments on those things, and I don't ever answer it.
Here's the thing: is if you went back and answered, there'd be 300 comments on that bitch. And this is something that I learned from Kyle Draper, right? And I think this is true across all social media platforms. It's social media. When people engage with you, engage back. If you engage on my posts on any platform, it is very rare that you don't get a comment back. Unless I just get busy or the post has kind of died and you're commenting days after.
Yeah.
But, and this, I've shared this on my page so people even see it, right? Like if you are using social media as an engagement platform, I've said this for years, everything I do on social media is incredibly genuine. I'm also not unaware that I'm intentionally showing it to you, right? Like the act of me posting it and typing a caption and then sharing it. But like I know that I'm sharing it with you, right? Like I'm not oblivious to the fact that I'm doing this for likes and engagement, right?
Sure.
Like why would I share my 7-year-old's birthday? He's not on social media. I don't tag him in it. He doesn't give a shit if I share it on there.
He does. I'm sure he's like, how many likes we get?
No, Luke doesn't. Luke doesn't.
Duality of social media. It's 100% is what he's doing, is what you should be doing.
Yes.
And it's also why
you don't want to do it.
I don't like every single time I see somebody wish their own child a happy birthday on social media, I want to scream.
Yeah.
Because I know that kid doesn't have a Facebook account because he's turning 1.
Yeah.
And I'm so tired of you shoving this in my face. Congratulations, she had a kid. So did 7 billion other people.
Now imagine this. People commenting like, happy birthday, Luke. I'm going back and commenting, thanks. That's awesome. Appreciate it.
Such a weird thing to do.
It
Why
is.
are we doing this?
Because
I know it works, though.
It's to stay top of mind.
I get it why
people,
it works.
Here's how it works. Luke is actually, just for those of you who are watching this, Luke's actually a really shy kid who doesn't understand why random strangers come up and say hi to him.
Yeah.
And I have to say,
I don't
baby,
love it either.
He's fine with it.
Okay.
But I have to say, baby, understand, like, daddy everybody knows you, right? Like, you don't realize that all the pictures I take of us get shown to like 5,000 people, right? So he doesn't understand why he walks into the office and somebody comes up to him and they're like, hey, how you doing? Go to shake his hand. Luke, I saw your thing the other day. And he's just like, what in the fuck is happening?
He thinks he's on the Truman Show.
He does. Right.
Yeah.
So, and that's also why it works.
Something that I was on a mastermind last night with Nick Krim. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he was officially on the show. We had him on a webinar.
We did when COVID first hit out. We did those like hour-long webinars lives, and he was definitely on that.
So we had him on with content cards, and he's talking about really from a agent attraction or just selling real estate through social media. And he had this slide up there that said the difference between a contact and a contract is the R, and that stands for relationship, right? So what Brian and I don't really do that well within our social media, is really build that relationship
Yeah.
where Kelderman, people come up to him and whether you've met them for the first time in real life, you're over there making it seem like y'all been besties forever.
Yeah. And I will tell you, it happens a lot. It happens when we'll go to Advanced here in a couple of weeks up in Vermont. And there will be people inside HERG who know all about my life. And I only know them from their profile picture. So if their profile picture doesn't look exactly like them, I got to glance their name tag real quick, right? Like if they're engaging with all of my stuff, I tend to know who they are. Like I do see all of that. The thing with social media that I've been able to experience that I think has been really great is that ghost following of people who they're not engaged. Like right now, my YouTube isn't doing much, but 75% of my views are coming from people who are unsubscribed. So I don't even know they freaking exist.
Yep.
Right. Same thing with social media. People come up to me, my buddy Kenny from high school, oldest friend in the world, right? Texted me yesterday about the vlog. He didn't engage with the vlog. He didn't leave a comment. He didn't like the post, but he's like, hey, I really love what you're doing with that. I love watching you grow. He's known me since I was
You've got
14 years old.
Of those so far.
He's known me since 7th grade, 8th grade, right? Like, so, but he doesn't love and like everything and, leave me little quippy comments and all that other stuff. Like, I appreciate everybody does, but he's also somebody who's watching behind. There's plenty of people who are watching that stuff behind the scenes.
That's a great point, because that is, for something tactical, that is like, there's a duality around how we view social media, meaning that we understand that to create more engagement, we need to be consistent. And when we don't get immediate engagement, we get very self-conscious about that. When we don't realize that most of the other people on social media are probably more like me, like they're voyeuristic. Like if I'm going to be on Facebook, I'm just looking at dumb GIFs or whatever. And you're like, I don't engage. I'm not going to engage with you posting that you got engaged. Congratulations. I don't give a shit. Like, it's between you and your significant other, right?
Yeah.
Like that type of thing. But like most people are like that. They don't engage. They just watch. Is the point I'm trying to make.
I'm bad at engaging.
And so we get in this thing where like not enough people engage, so we stop creating content. And the only way to actually get your real engagement up is to be consistent. So we have this thing where we're very self-conscious in the beginning. That's the hill you have to climb. You've got to get over that. You've got to continue to create consistent stuff. And like James was saying before, do it in a very have a structure and a system around it so it's consistent at the same types of times.
RJ Bates told us when we first started this, we were less than 17 episodes in. And he said, if you get to 7, and I will tell you, I remember thinking like 17 episodes is a lot.
Yeah.
And he said, if you get to 17 episodes, you will be in a space where like you've created some kind of consistency. That's for a weekly podcast. Fine.
Sure.
I don't know what my cadence is with Facebook, which is, again, that's a space where I just do really well.
Right.
But I definitely know that I am very consistent on Facebook. You can go to Facebook and you will rarely find a 3-day span where you don't see something from me.
Right.
And I also take posts down, right? Like there are plenty of times I take posts down. If I have something that just falls flat or people are not engaging with in any kind of way, I rip it off too, because I also don't want content out there that just isn't resonating with people. So again, be intentional, be focused on it. But also,
I let people see the real me, the ones that don't engage.
The ones
And we do have a favor to ask from people.
What would the real you look like if you posted your daily life on social media?
They wouldn't even know because I wouldn't post.
Oh,
people be bored. We're doing this with the vlog right now, right?
Like me on the couch reading, drinking.
That's
wine.
The thing is, like a whole 8-minute video.
They may be interested in that.
I guess
an 8-minute video that we take for the vlog is a whole week's worth of content. Right?
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's not really that exciting. I mean, it's still just regular ass boring human being's life.
Yeah.
But people like to feel connected. And this is what I'll leave the social media part with. If you're going to do anything with social media, people want to feel connected to you. If you are doing stuff that is really disingenuous, or you're trying too hard to be an attractive character, or you're trying too hard to be somebody else, it's just not going to land at all. There's stuff that I put out. I told Jesse this earlier today when we were talking about the vlog. I don't feel like I speak intelligently very often. I stumble over my words. I use fucking analogies that make no goddamn sense, right? Like, and Jesse puts some of that stuff in the vlog, and I really appreciate that, because what's happened is I've gotten plenty of message over the last 2 weeks that the word authenticity, right? Like authenticity and genuine. If I'm hearing that about the social media stuff I'm posting, I don't give a shit about anything else. If people feel like it's genuinely me, then I've kind of accomplished what the goal is. They're either going to be attracted to that or they're not. And either way, that's fine.
But that's the whole point that's the whole
Yeah.
point, right? So
Yeah.
to show the real you,
Yeah.
where it's not, it's not fluff. You're not trying to fake it until you make it. This is the real you on this,
Yeah.
right? Do you have any? Because I haven't watched it all the way on this. Is there any of you just doing squats?
I put in my stories today.
I did see that today.
This is just
You
me
went
doing
heavy rep,
squats.
lower. You went heavy weight, lower reps.
Yep. That's what we did today. Nick hates leg day, so he just shits on my squat videos.
I do.
That's
Oh
it.
my-
squats today. I used to hate them too.
I love squats.
I did deadlifts
bro.
today.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh no, I did both today.
I did
But you
deadlifts
should-
today.
I did low and slow squats, and then I did heavy deadlifts.
I did
Well, maybe you'll
Maybe
see me
bench.
squatting in episode 3 of my vlog,
Yeah.
Matt Kelderman on YouTube.
And
you wanna-
can you
wanna check
deadlift
that out.
us out of making sure that we don't lose in this voting?
Oh man,
Yeah, right. I don't even know if
Clunky,
that.
but I
I
like
don't even know
it.
if that was not a smooth
That was
end. You
perfect.
can't
Here's the thing.
deadlift us out
That was-
into
perfect.
winning the best cover award, right?
Yes.
So Jordan Espeth of the Real Producers Magazine.
He likes to ride one wheels.
No, I'm not Espeth. I'm going to say it how I want to say it. Right? He has a no. We're going to say
He has a name.
I'm the
We
one
say it.
pronouncing it. I'm going to say it the way I
That's
want
what I'm
to.
saying.
Every day his leg day, says Potter.
Yeah, but she doesn't do leg day.
You can tell she's just in an office with
Yeah.
Steven listening to him.
Yeah,
That's
she
what
doesn't
Steven,
do
That was a
leg
Crawford
day.
quote.
that's what
Yeah.
happens is they're in there doing their morning meeting. And they're like, Steven, tell me something good today. And Steven just says, every day's leg day.
Yeah, they're like, all right, we knew you were going to say that. But Jordan Espeth, right, of Real Producers Magazine, is doing the Espy Awards.
Oh, look at
here,
the video. Look at that
right?
camera. Look at
and
that.
so the Espy Awards, we're voting to have the best Real Producers Magazine cover, which we already know we have the best one out there.
Yes.
Right? So we're going to throw in the
It's
link.
amazing to think that someone once respected us enough to put us on a magazine cover.
They were still new. So, right. I don't know if we
He
would
didn't
get
actually
that. I don't
watch
know-
the show.
I don't know if we
prior
would get
to-
that today, right?
Yeah.
And so we are in the running to have the best Real Producers Magazine cover, which there is another cool one. The one
The
that's
flamethrower one's sick, dude.
that one is pretty badass.
I don't want to clown that one and say, like, look, here's the thing is if you go in there
There's no story
as a friend of
behind it.
ours, I mean, I expect you to vote for us because,
Yeah.
I mean, just suck it up. But that flamethrower one's pretty sick.
It is.
There's
Yeah.
no continuity. I don't like
Yeah.
to be hypercritical, but just tell me a story. What's the story with this flamethrower? Who are you flaming? I don't
Here's the
know.
thing is, you know what? Maybe this is where I'll reverse it. To flamethrower people, you're probably really nice people. Also, I bet you don't flamethrower everything every day. Our fucking cover is a very fair representation of all three of us.
I jump out from behind a tree 4 times a day minimum.
Double guns. I always flex my muscles, and Nick is constantly standing there wondering what in the fuck we are doing.
Yeah.
So it's a perfect
It
representation.
is.
of
It
the
is. So
situation.
go. We're gonna have in the comments. So go and vote for us. You don't have to fill the rest of it out. You do have to
Now
put your
scroll
name
on
in
the
there.
bottom, yeah.
Go down to the
Just go
bottom,
all the way down,
and you'll
to
see
the-
best cover award, and
to
it'll
right
say Nick Good,
there.
Matt Kelderman, Brian Force. You're gonna click on that, and then you're gonna submit it so that we can be a winner in something in life.
And please, I never win anything. I lose at fantasy football all the time. I've been playing fantasy football since like the late 90s. I would really like to win this. I mean, I'd vote for y'all for Fireball. Perfect. So, like, I will buy you Fireball if you don't vote for the flamethrower one. There we
Yeah.
go. Done.
Yeah,
I
easy
don't-
enough.
I don't want.
I am gonna
I
say
don't want to start talking crap. I think that lady with the horse is going to get torched. There. I'm not trying to be mean. I just don't think it's a super impressive cover. I can find a horse within 10 minutes. It's North Texas. I know people with horses. I could find one.
Yeah.
It's a cool. That's a beautiful horse, though. That is a beautiful horse.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just 2 people on the team that have horses.
I was saying, like, I could hook that up so fast.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, you jumping out of a tree. I mean, yeah.
I thought that picture was so slick, dude.
Yeah.
It still is so money,
It's
dude.
pretty cool, man.
Here's the thing: if you're listening on iTunes on this one, you do need to go and watch the video on this on YouTube and or on Facebook. And I think we're done with the show because Brian's already packed up.
Brian's done. He's
I
got to
have
go to dinner.
go. I just got a text.
Yeah.
He said, shut up and get off the show.
Somebody
Yes.
invited me onto a better podcast. I gotta
Yes.
go.
All right. So
Right.
So with that, go over to the only real estate group worth being a part of on Facebook. Go support our sponsors, mortgagemikeoftexas.com. Get that Mortgage Mike stamp of approval, as well as Justin Nelson with sphererocketva.com. If you're wanting those virtual assistants to start doing your social media and helping you with that, anything you learned on the top 5 things that we learned from the social media meltdown, and go to iTunes, leave us a review.
Jesse, Brian has to go now. So end the show.
Hey, thank you for watching. We truly appreciate it, checking out another episode of the only real estate podcast worth listening to. If you're watching this on YouTube, please go ahead, hit that share button, hit that like button, and hit the subscribe button. Right? We're dropping more stuff on YouTube constantly. If you're on iTunes, leave us a review, please. We're really, really focused on building up those reviews so we can get more searchable content on there. And if you're on Facebook, like everyone else is, go over and search the only real estate group worth being a part of. You're going to want to go join that group. I'm telling you right now, there's so much gold in there. So go join, share us on YouTube, and leave us that iTunes review. Please go do it right now. We'll see you on the next show.